So the DadCars channel is all about the most exciting dad cars possible. But what if you need something truly practical and on a reasonable budget? Well, today we've got the V8 Lexus. Let's get into it. My name's Ben and welcome to DadCars. So this is a 2006 Lexus GS430 and I'm pleased to tell you that it has ISOFIX here on the rear seats. As one would expect, I had no problem at all getting an ISOFIX booster seat in here, one of my trusty travel child seats in the middle, and an ISOFIX base rear-facing baby seat in over here behind the passenger. So I've got 4 young children, so I could have my eldest and a booster seat in the front, or there is actually about 1.3 meters across the back here. So you could get a 4 across multi-max seat in the back and take out your partner as well. Well, passes the DadCars boot test with flying colours as expected. I mean, you could fit 2 dads in it. Well, that's a nice feature. You walk up to a locked car and the driver's side door opens for you. And it presents the steering wheel to me. How lovely is that? So the first ever sports car I ever had was a Toyota MR2, a Mark II with the T-bar roof. And that, still to this day, the best car I've ever had. I loved that car so much. And today I'm driving a Lexus for the very first time ever. And first impressions, well, it feels rather lovely. What a glorious day as well. Oh, you can hear the V8 more than I was expecting actually, because this is such a refined, lovely place to sit. I mean, the road noise, I can barely hear a thing. Now hang on a second, Ben, isn't this the DadCars channel? Where are the children? Fear not, I'm actually going to go now in this and pick up my children from preschool. And while I'm on my way there, let's talk about the looks of this thing. I mean, it's very understated, isn't it? I mean, from the front, it doesn't scream presence at you, does it? I think it looks really nice from the side. The side profile's really nice. It's probably not got quite enough presence for me. But there's something nice about understated. You know, driving something around which, you know, isn't going to grab too much attention, but you know you've got a V8 under the bonnet. And some of the styling on modern Lexus, I mean modern Japanese cars in general, I think they've kind of like lost the plot a little bit recently. It just doesn't do it for me at all. I mean, headspace in here is great. The visibility, obviously, as you'd expect, is fantastic. Yet it's still got quite a nice sort of like low down, sort of squat wide feel to it when you're looking at it in person. Now, I must admit, I don't know a great deal about Lexus at all. It's not a brand that's ever really sort of like appealed to me as a car that I'd want to own and buy, but I do love Japanese cars. I love Toyotas. If there's any particular models that I should know about that you think are really exciting, drop them in the comments below and I will check them out. Look, it's got parking sensors all round and a reversing camera. Fantastic, a really nice one as well. I mean, my Aston is 3 years newer than this and hasn't got half the features this car's got. Right, so we get the baby hippo in.
Baby hippo.
The baby hippo. Right. So how was preschool?
Good.
Was it good? Yeah?
Mommy.
You had a good time?
Yeah.
Now these are the videos I love, when I've got as many of my children in the cars as possible whilst I do these reviews. So yeah, look, let's go for it, shall we? Who wants a sweetie? They're sugar-free. Now, a DadCar's general rule of thumb is that as long as the car doesn't do 0 to 60 in under 5 seconds, I think you'll be okay with a rear-facing baby seat. Now that's not scientific, it's just from my experience. You figure out what works for you. So it's actually got adaptive dampers in here. I've got it in the sport mode at the moment, and I'm just going to leave it in that because this feels lovely. You could definitely have sleeping children in the back whilst it's in the sport setting. So running costs then, obviously being a V8, it's going to be high, isn't it? And the killer is road tax. It's the same as my Aston Martin, £630 a year. So that's the big one. And miles per gallon as well. I mean, you're likely to get on a motorway run over 30 miles per gallon, which is good. But in likelihood with mixed driving, expect sort of like mid-20s, I would say. But general maintenance and running costs though, this being a Lexus, you know, Toyota, they build some of the most reliable cars ever, don't they? So despite the fact this has got so much wonderful electrical gubbins in it, the reputation for electrical maintenance and general reliability on these cars is fantastic. Pretty sure you're supposed to give way to people coming up this section of road, guys. Oh, it's got a lot of pull, a lot of torque, this engine. I'm coming up quite a steep incline here and pulls wonderfully. And you can hear that V8, you can hear it. And I wasn't expecting to hear it as much as I am. I mean, because this car's all about sort of quiet refinement, isn't it? So performance stats then from this 4.3 litre V8. I mean, it does 0 to 60 in about 5.9 seconds. It's got 280 brake horsepower. Rear wheel drive. I mean, these are good stats. It's a lot faster than my MR2 was. It does pull nicely, it really does. Now, I know the exhaust system on here has just got loads of silencer sections and all the rest of it, and I think this would be nicer if you sort of took some of that out, you know. If you've got the V8 and you're paying for the fuel, you want to hear it, don't you? But you can actually hear the engine in front of you there, so that's, as a driver, is a nice thing. So on the DadCars channel, I have featured some very expensive, exciting cars. Taycan Turbo S, DBS Superleggera. And then, I mean, even like my car, DB9. And I've done a lot of Maseratis and 911s and things like that. But the one thing that always keeps coming up in the comment section is people saying, look, that's all well and good, but you know, we haven't all got tens of thousands of pounds to spend on an exciting dad car. Well, that's why I was excited to review this. When this car's owner, Glen, sent me an email and said, look, I've got a Lexus. Must admit, at first I wasn't overly excited, but then I carried on reading and hearing that it had a V8. And I thought, yeah, fantastic, let's get it on, you know. I must admit, I don't know many Japanese cars that have got V8s. I mean, even the Supra, Mark IV Supra, that's got an inline six. And my 3000 GT or GTO twin turbo, that had a turbocharged V6. So yeah, you know, it's nice having a Japanese car with a V8. Makes it exciting. So what do these cars cost then? Well, I mean, when new, they're about £50,000, I think, by the time you got all the optional extras on. And this one here is fully loaded. It's got everything. But I checked Auto Trader this morning, and there's only 6 for sale on Auto Trader of this model. So they're very rare things, but I think for around £5,000 you could get yourself one of these. So a very affordable dad car. And obviously having a V8 makes it exciting. I mean, admittedly, this example I'm driving today is low mileage and fully loaded, so you probably pay a couple grand more for this. But it does just make me think there must be so many exciting and interesting dad cars out there, which are around £5,000 or sub £5,000. I'd be really interested to look at some more. So look, if you've got an exciting £5,000, sub £5,000 dad car that you think's more exciting than this, reach out, send me an email, find me on Instagram, DadCars88. There's some interesting rivals off the top of my head. Obviously there's loads of German stuff, isn't there? But that's like a Jaguar XF, that could be interesting. And I think the Volvo S80, I think they did a V8 one of those. That'd be an interesting one. But yeah, if you can think of some others, drop them in the comments below. Just sitting in this car now, it's a really lovely place to sit, you know. I've got the seat right the way back, even though I've got a little one behind me in a child seat. Got so much space, I can sit all the way back here and take it all in, you know. It's a nice thing. The steering wheel looks lovely. These dials, these analog dials are lovely, really, really nice. And just generally in here, you know, yeah, you don't have obviously like the lovely wrapped leather dash up here, but everything down the bottom feels really nice. And yeah, this is super comfy. Now this, I believe, has got heated and cooled seats. You've got a rear screen there on the back, which whenever you go in reverse, it automatically comes down. Now that's pretty cool. And just generally, with all the additional electrical features you've got in here, it's nice thinking that obviously you spend not a lot of money on a car, but you haven't got the fears of, you know, constant electrical gremlins popping up like you do in some of the other sort of more obscure brands, you know. Lexus have got a fantastic reputation, as I said earlier. Lovely little feature in here as well is this little control panel over here on the right. It's really cool. It's quite sort of like Bond-esque. I expect there to be a little ejector button there or something. It's very smooth. I like that a lot. Let's pull over here and then we'll just give it another launch. We're going to go fast, girls. Okay, we're going to go fast. You ready? It's fantastic. See, it's a real wafter, you know? It's a nice thing just to cruise around. You don't feel any pressure to throw it around corners or anything like that. You don't need to, you know? But it's got that grunt, it's got that torque. I need to give a massive thank you to this car's owner, Glen, for bringing this car down to Portsmouth today for me to film it. I really appreciate it. So when people come to me, it means that I can have my children in the back, which makes it a lot more fun for me. So would I buy and own a Lexus GS430? Well, no, I wouldn't, personally. If I was going to buy a car like this, I would buy a Maserati Quattroporte, a car which I fell in love with earlier on the channel. Just for me, the flair, the sound of that car, it offers a lot of what this does, but just with a bit more excitement for me. However, those cars are triple the money to buy that these are. And arguably, this is a little bit more refined, and it will certainly be a lot more reliable and therefore cheaper to run. And they've both got V8s. So in summary then, for the Lexus GS430, if you've got around £5,000 to spend on a dad car, but you need something which is genuinely practical, you need the 4 doors, you need a big boot, consider one of these. It's probably not one you thought of. It's also one that when you show a picture of it to your missus, she's not going to disapprove because it looks like a nice, sensible car. Just don't tell her that it's got a V8 tucked under the bonnet and you should be good. It's a cracking car. So look, thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. If you already have, hit that bell icon because it makes a difference to my small channel. I only typically do 1 video a week. And look, I'll see you on the next one. Everyone say goodbye. Bye. Can you promise me you'll be a big girl and only eat one when I say? Can you promise? Okay, so if I give them to you, you put them somewhere safe. Okay, you can have 1 each now, okay? Toyota know how to make a reliable car, don't they? Girls, can you please not, can you? Right, there won't be any sweets all the time that you're shouting like that. What, have you finished them all? How did you eat them all so quickly?
I don't know.
That's a lot of sweeties. Right, you need to wait a little bit. Have you seen all of my other dad car reviews? If not, go and check them out now. Go and watch them. I've done some really exciting ones. Right, let's check this out. Ever see a young girl growing old, trying to make herself bright?